with a major return teased and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Responding to the idea of him running for president of the United States, The Rock said on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, "It's crazy and it's wild. This run for president talk has kind of been in the ether for the past couple of years, and it just never stops being surreal. It was incredible. It came from DC. We sat down. The poll was something like almost 50% of Americans would support me running for president. It was just crazy. So, and by the way, thank you, but it's like, dude, we've talked about this. It's like not too long ago. Years ago, I was wrestling in flea markets for $40 per match, hoping that, hey, I just want a free corn dog at the end of the night. And now here we are. Years later, I'm sitting with you and this talk has come up and it's real. And I'm so grateful. So if you are of the almost 50%, I thank you, Tequila on me. By the way, I appreciate it. I think down the road for sure. I've said this before. I'm a proud girl dad. I have a 22-year-old, I have a 7, and I have a 5. So they're all age ranges. And my 22-year-old, I like to say we grew up together, and at that time I was wrestling full-time, 230 dates, 200 wrestling matches a year, so I was always gone, and I know what that's like to have an occupation that takes me away from being a daddy. And this time around, with my 7 and my 5-year-old, I want to be a daddy, and that's the most important thing to me. So be around, be there, be there. I want to be around. During that same interview, The Rock said this about making his WWE comeback recently on SmackDown, noting that it was incredible. So here's the crazy thing about that is we were in Boulder, Colorado. I was there for College Game Day, and I found out the night before that WWE SmackDown is going to be in Denver, which is right up the road. So I called my buddy at WWE, Nick Khan, and I said, "Hey man, I heard SmackDown is here. Can you confirm that?" He said it is. I said, "Good. Well, The Rock is coming to SmackDown." Advertising her OnlyFans page, former WWE star Lacey Evans wrote on X, "48 hours only, free month subs on my fan page, let the holidays begin." During Monday Night Raw, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins had a backstage segment where Ivar could be seen in the background being pushed out of the camera shot.
"But at the WarGames, I need you." Oh, cut it. Cut it. That's not why you're...
Commenting on the debut of Ric Flair in AEW, commentator for the company, Tony Schiavone, said this on his What Happened When podcast. "It was surreal, it really was, and I was really thrilled about doing it. I was talking to Sting on Saturday when we were in Oakland, and we were giving each other a hard time, as you do. There were a bunch of guys standing around, and I said, yeah, I remember the first time I stuck the microphone in front of Sting at TBS Studios. Sting rolled down, he was so blown up he couldn't get words out. He was breathing heavy. Sting says, I don't remember that. I said, it's on video if you'd like me to pull it up. Both have been such phenomenal performers, and I've said this many times, I'm honored to be tied to them in some way. You look online and see a lot of photos of Ric Flair, it's me holding a microphone. That's very special to me. I really would like for Sting, for his last match, to come out as Surfer Sting. Blonde hair, spike it up, it would be great. A lot of people would love to see it. Maybe we can convince him to do it." Talking about his brother Dustin Rhodes being a part of the WWE Hall of Fame down the line, Cody Rhodes told Busted Open Radio, "I have never ever heard Hall of Famer before. That would blow my mind. We have to get old Chicken in that Hall of Fame first though. My brother, we have to get Chicken in there. He's just out there still hitting the ropes where you can hear the ding. He's hitting them so hard. We have to get him in there." Asked if he thought his WrestleMania streak would have ended sooner if not for his American badass gimmick, The Undertaker said on his 6 Feet Under podcast, "I would have to think the percentages would be pretty high that the streak would have gotten broken sooner. I don't know that for certain, but the percentages and my understanding of our business tells me that would have been a nice check mark on somebody that was coming up. Little did we know that Steve's career would be cut short. Little did we know that Rock was going to come off and become a big movie star. I would have gotten fed to one of them, and it would have been the right thing to do." Taking to ex-AEW World Champion, MJF made a statement regarding veteran wrestlers taking shots at the younger generation, writing, "If you've been at a job for a small number of years but at a high level for a majority of it, you don't have to listen to dumb MFers that talk down to you and say they know better because they've been at the job for a large number of years but at a low level for a majority of it. Respect everyone, but don't let anyone sun you ever." A user then asked, "Jerry Lynn never reached your level. Do you dismiss him?" MJF replied, "I wouldn't call WWE, WCW, TNA, ECW, Ring of Honor, GWF low level. Study the sport you love." Recalling how he heard that Randy Orton tampered with the possessions of WWE diva Rochelle Lowen, Rene Dupree said on his podcast, "Now the story I have heard is that he defecated in her bag. That wasn't it. He put tanning lotion all over her clothes in her bag, probably because Randy tried to hit on her. And Randy, I'm telling you, had no game. Women have a sixth sense. They can smell confidence, and they can smell insecurity when a guy is trying to be a player but not very good at it. Randy was not very good at it. Now, Mark Jindrak was good at it. He had that, he had that charm. He could do it. Randy didn't. Randy didn't have it. He really didn't. But what would happen was when a girl would blow him off, he would get mad, throw a temper tantrum like a small child. Yeah, he never defecated in her bag, but he put tanning lotion. But I believe she was a California girl, so, she had that high-end clothes and stuff, really, really expensive clothing that was probably just ruined. I remember her. She was sick hot. But you know who dated her or went out on a date with her was Jindrak. Posting on Instagram, Rey Mysterio revealed that he underwent a procedure and will be out of action. When he comes back, he will be coming for the man that recently turned on him, Santos Escobar, as Rey wrote. Knee surgery was successful. Now payback on Escobar is on the horizon. For a legal update on former WWE star Kimber Lee, Ringside News wrote that PW Insider reports that former WWE, NXT, and Impact Wrestling star Kimber Lee is scheduled for a pre-trial hearing on Tuesday, November 28th at 8:30 a.m. before the Highlands County Court. The 33-year-old is still dealing with a court situation that has been an issue for quite some time. The legal matter stems from an incident on May 11th in Sebring, Florida, during which Frankel was charged with DUI, resisting an officer with violence, and battery on a law enforcement officer. Frankel entered a plea of not guilty to all charges on July 7th, the same day she was officially charged. She opted to waive her right to a speedy trial and requested a public defender, citing her current financial inability to hire her own defense attorney. This request was granted. According to the police report related to the May incident, Officer PJ Roberts noted that on May 11th at 4:54 p.m., he observed that the northbound lane on US 27 was stopped in traffic despite a green light. He noticed a gray Kia Soul facing the wrong direction, obstructing the roadway. Roberts activated his emergency equipment and performed a U-turn to initiate a traffic stop on the vehicle. The vehicle started moving, and as it made a left turn on alternate US 27 South, it veered onto the paved shoulder, nearly colliding with the guardrail. The vehicle eventually turned into the parking lot of a shopping center and failed to stop until it reached a parking space. On Instagram, the World Wrestling Council in Puerto Rico announced the appearance of former WWE star Dolph Ziggler, writing, "He's here to show the world. What if we bring it to Puerto Rico? Do you want to play? Let's play. The clock starts ticking now." Following Raw, Cody Rhodes cut a promo where he teased Randy Orton being on his WarGames team at Survivor Series. Here's the clip.
Friends, right? Well, spoiler alert, Jey Uso and I have friends too. We're gonna check out Jay here, get him a little medical attention, but before we do, just want to tell everybody it's been a great night besides this loss right here. Take care of one another, drive safe. I expect to see you all.
And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.